Hey up everyone, I'm back again. I just wanted to do a quick review of the Galaxy Note 3, which is getting on a bit now in terms of age, but still offers very uh, high-end specs, which still competes head-to-head with quite a lot of these flagships. I was eager to get a device just to see what it has to offer. I have to say that I am quite impressed with it. I have to say that I did have Note 2 at one point, but did get rid of it because it was a bit big and I didn't really use the stylus much. But I'm certainly more warmed up to bigger phones now than I was back then, especially as they've seemed to become more mainstream. You don't look as silly holding up a 6-inch phone anymore. But in regards to the actual Note 3's build, you can see that Samsung have definitely thought about improving the historically poor build quality that they've had for their devices. On the back you have a much more solid kind of faux leather, which certainly gives it an air of professionalism. It makes the device feel a lot more solid, especially when you are taking off the back cover. A common complaint that I had with the Note 2 was how flimsy the back cover was. I always felt like it was going to break or something when I was taking it off, so I could access removable battery. But you're not going to have the same problem, I think, with this device. On the side you have like a metallic kind of banding around it, which again is a nice touch, gives it a bit of premium air to it. The power button's on the right, so nice and accessible, and the volume rocker's on the left. You do have also USB 3.0 connectivity at the bottom, as well as a speaker and the stylus, which thankfully you can put in either way. The top of the device you have a headphone jack, which is quite nice to have it in a standard place. As I said, the back is removable, so it's quite easy to remove, thankfully. When you do remove it, you're greeted with a big 3200 mAh battery, which obviously is a very nice addition, because you're going to need a big battery for this caliber of screen size. You do have a micro SD expandability, which I think it supports up to 64 gigabyte micro SD cards, and also micro SIM, so thankfully no nano SIMs or anything like that. But as I said, the back does definitely feel more substantial, although it is thinner than you would expect. It would be nice if they made it that bit even thicker, but it is an improvement nevertheless. On the back you do have that 13 megapixel camera as well, with auto flash and the ability to record in Ultra HD, which is a nice addition. So when you do turn on the device, you have a nice 5.7 inch display, which is an AMOLED display, or SAMOLED, and that has a pixel density of 386 ppi, and it is covered with Corning Gorilla Glass 3 as well for protection. And I have to say I'm very impressed with the display in terms of its viewing angles and color reproduction. As you can see, colors don't really degrade as you look at it from angles, and I've took it out and about and found that it's very viewable under direct sunlight. A vast improvement over the Galaxy S4, which was quite weak under direct sunlight. The big battery does mean that you can also bump up the brightness if you wish to make it even more visible. But in general, it's a very nice screen. I'd say it's probably not as good as the new Galaxy S5 screen, but that is a newer device. That tends to be a bit brighter and probably a bit sharper as well. But that's probably because it's got a smaller screen on it. Thankfully, Samsung do allow you to change the display type if you wish, so that you can make it a bit more like an LCD screen if you don't want the garish AMOLED colors. And as you can see, it makes the colors less poppy for if you don't like the cartooniness of it. But in general, I think that most people will be happy with the display and won't have much need to change it. In regards to the actual specifications, you're looking at quad-core Snapdragon 800, clocked at quite a nice speed as well, which is 2.3 gigahertz, and that's paired with a Crate 400 GPU for all your gaming needs. This is the Snapdragon model of the device. You can also get the Exynos 5 Octa model, which comes in Asia. But I think in general, performance is going to be, fantastic. I think the Note 3's been particularly praised for being much less laggier than the Galaxy S4 when doing different things. And during my own usage of it, I found it to be highly responsive and usable during doing pretty much everything. Even some areas which usually do provide a bit of lag, such as the gallery, I found to be very, very usable and very smooth. So I think that Samsung have definitely nailed the smoothness when it comes to this device. Although, if I'm going to be honest, I can't really tell much of a difference nowadays with all these Snapdragon 800 processors. It seems that we are entering a lag-free phase. In regards to the actual camera, the camera is 30 megapixel, as I said, which again is a very nice camera phone. It doesn't particularly stand out compared to some other devices like the Lumia 1020 and the Xperia Z2, but it certainly gets the job done. Focusing is quite quick and reliable, and taking the shot is also very quick. It does give you some of the modes you'll find also on the Galaxy S4, such as if I go back, like beauty face, somewhere on here. There we go. We can't beat some beauty face. You do get ability to do panorama shots, which is nice. HDR shots, golf swings as well. That floats your boat. So a whole load of different options there. As I said before, for the video recording, you can also do quite high res video recording at 3840 by 2160. Is that considered Ultra HD? I think it is. But nevertheless, that's an excellent option to have and makes the device more future-proof. It does have video stabilization as well to help with shaky issues. I think that for most people, the camera on this is more than sufficient for everyday use. Although I've not really found it to be distinguishingly better than the Galaxy S4's camera. I think the Galaxy S4's camera is fantastic. But as long as you're not looking for a phone which is primarily your camera, then you're not going to be disappointed with the performance on this device. In regards to the actual battery life, you have 3200 mAh removable battery, which can easily go 2 days, I'd say, of moderate to heavy use. Samsung as well do build in the ability to put on power saving mode, which I had left on there, as you could see. Even though I did have it on, it didn't really make much of a difference to the performance. I think that it works by underclocking the processor and making the GPU push less frame rate. But in general, you're not really going to need to use that anyway, because Samsung have been well ahead of the game when it comes to battery life. Coupled with that, the AMOLED screen, which is very power efficient, and the removable battery and the efficient processor, it's not even really worth talking about that much. In fact, I think this is one of the few devices where I didn't even bother put the percentage on in the top right hand corner, because I knew that it would easily last me a day anyway. So yeah, battery life, the Note 3 has you covered. In regards to the GPS strength and the basic essentials, we'll have a quick look at that. It does support GLONASS, so I'm expecting it to pick up things quite quickly. So yeah, it definitely seems to have a very quick GPS there. Although I'm no expert in this particular app, I have tried it on a few other phones and it's taken them a while to get these bars up and get some of them in use. So I do know when a device is performing better than another. So you shouldn't have any issues in regards to location on this device. So how about the little speaker down here? How does that perform? It is nice of Samsung to put that at the bottom, but even if it is on the side, then it doesn't guarantee that it's going to be good, as we've seen with the Nexus 5 and Xperia Z1. So I got a nice little Mirror's Edge track here. To me, that sounds very good. It's actually quite surprising. I thought it would be quite disappointing, but it's very loud when you're actually in the room, kind of thing. I don't know how that transcribes onto the video, but it's definitely decent, and I think an improvement over the Note 2. But still nowhere near the good old HTC phones that have been released lately, or even I think the Moto G may kind of tie with it in terms of loudness. Some would say that this kind of device is too big for them, but to people who may be put off with the size of this, I can safely say that it's very manageable. As I said, I did have a Note 2 for quite a while, and when I first got that, I was thinking there's no way I could use this out in public, it's just too big. But really, the footprint of the Note 3 is very manageable. It is a little bit bigger than the Z2, for example, which is a bit more pocketable, but you are getting that bigger screen. So it is quite a nice trade-off. So at the end of the day, it's not like the Lumia 1320, which probably would be considered too big for some people with its 6-inch display. I think that it's still within the realms of usable and pocketable, and I think it's probably one of the better phablets on the market right now. But I can't obviously end the hardware review without talking about the stylus, which does come with the device, which is quite finicky to get out now and again. But once you do get it out, as you can see, it comes up with a nice pop-up, so it does recognise it. It does feel very alive when you're using the stylus, unlike some other phones which is just for writing. You can tell that the Note 3 has been built around actually using the stylus, so you can hover over different stuff if you want to do something, like, for example, write on the screen like a quick note. But I think most people, for most people, it could be quite useful to stop annoying fingerprints coming on the screen. If you just want to keep your device very clean, you can also do screenshots of the screen, holding down the little button on the stylus, and then dragging it around like that. And then you can share that out through your social media or through your messaging, which is quite nice. You can also obviously browse the web using it. You see that little icon that pops up there? You can use that to write in. But I'm not very good at it. I have to admit that I am still quite a newbie at it, kind of thing. But it's certainly nice to use, and definitely is, the premium stylus experience on any smartphone. You're not going to find anywhere any better, really. And it definitely does have its uses. Some people may not use it because they just want the Note for the big screen and the good battery life. But if you can learn to use it, then it definitely adds to the experience. Yeah, definitely a nice addition by Samsung. In regards to the actual software, it comes with Android 4.4.2, so not the latest Android, but it should be updated soon, hopefully, to 4.4.3. It does come with a TouchWiz version, which isn't the latest either, which is aging a bit now, with the very familiar notification area. But hopefully Samsung will push out what they've got on the new Galaxy devices, such as the Galaxy S5 and the Galaxy Tab S, because that is a very nice version of TouchWiz and looks much more cleaner. It does also come with some Samsung value-added stuff, such as Samsung Hub, S Note, which is useful to use with the stylus. A lot of other Samsung stuff as well, such as Knox, S Health, etc., etc. Some people may use them, some people may see them as bloatware. If you're not happy with all the stuff that Samsung does put on the device, you can always root it and put on a more stock ROM on it. I've got a friend with Note 3 who's running a ROM called C-ROM or something like that. And it's just basically like having a Nexus device with an excellent battery life. Yeah, I think I like the software that Samsung does put onto its devices. I think it's very useful, and I can't ignore the fact that the device comes with something called multi-window. Which is a very nice addition when it does come up. There we go. Which means you can basically do like several things at the same time. So if you want to watch a YouTube video and browse the web at the same time, you can do. And thanks to the 3 gig RAM, which I neglected to mention, and the fast processor, multitasking is a breeze. It feels like you're on a PC sometimes, in fact. So yeah, that's a very nice addition by Samsung and something I'd certainly use. It does come also with some of the other stuff that I may not use, such as Smart Stay, Air Scroll, etc., etc. A bit gimmicky, but again, some people may find it useful. It does. I'd rather have these things than not have them at the end of the day, I guess, as long as we don't detract from the experience or make the software laggy. It does also come with S Voice as well. Let's not forget that. So you can double tap this and then do a search for something. But in my own testing of it, I've found it to be a bit finicky compared to the Moto X's implementation. I think the Moto X's voice search and recognition can't be beaten right now. So yeah, I think that about covers it. All in all, if you do shell out $350 for one of these, then you are getting still a flagship which can easily keep up with the likes of the new Android flagships. But also has its own additions, such as the stylus, which is nice, and also an excellent battery life with the removable storage and removable battery. And it's just a good all-rounder, really. So I hope you enjoyed this little video of the Note 3. If you did, please subscribe, and I'll be back next time with some other cool videos. Cheers!